It's that time of year again. We have another Funnyplaying IPS kit to review. Does it fix the problems of the old kits? Not really. Does it have a gimmick to make you feel like you need to upgrade? Oh, you betcha. Does it have new problems of its very own? What do you think? Today we're going to talk about their new kit, compare it to their old one, and see if Funnyplaying actually cares about selling a fully functioning product to their paying, loyal customers. Fair warning, I'm going to complain a lot in this video. I'm tired of Funnyplaying just pushing out another IPS kit every year with the exact same problems as the last one for its now third iteration of the laminated kit. Funnyplaying's level of quality and care has gone so far downhill that I'm dreading making this video. I don't enjoy having to make videos like this. I don't like having to be this negative. It's depressing. But I have to make this review because I don't want anyone spending $70+ on something this terrible. Let me just rapid fire some of the problems with the IPS Max. The touchpad issues are still here. The button controls for the screen's menus are broken. At least L and R just don't function properly because it always pops up the menu the second you press L or R. Also, the solder pads are too close together and too close to other components, but that is more of a nitpick, I guess. The screen has a horrible juddering issue. It wasn't something that I noticed super easily when I had frame blending on, but when frame blending is off, it's pretty obvious, especially when you have a bunch of lines on screen. It's also power hungry compared to the previous kits. Plus, there are a few other things that need bigger explanations. Like one of the two new features, GBC mode. At first glance, it's pretty cool. A bigger, fuller screen experience for playing original Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. That way you feel less of a need for a modded Game Boy Color. But the problem is, the colors in GBC mode are disgusting. It doesn't seem to happen with every game, but it gives it this green filter over the top of all the color modes that makes it unplayable. But I've mostly been playing Buck in the Cursed cartridge on here, which hasn't had any color issues, and it's been a pleasant experience outside of the screen jittering. The other new feature is the customizable logo at the bottom, which I guess is cool, but honestly, I don't care about it. It only comes with the Funnyplaying logo, and you have to download the tool just to get the 3 GBA logos on it. Funnyplaying just pre-install those other 3 logos with your stupid logo. I put my stupid logo in there, and I'm still just like, whatever, man. I'm guessing this extra screen real estate is why this kit is extra power hungry. I don't know, because between the first and second iterations, they're the same power drop. But this third iteration needs more power for some reason. I don't know. They're all 3 different screens anyways, so. But my biggest issue with this is the fact that the USB-C port they include for adding more logo options doesn't give you the ability to update the firmware of the kit itself. So even if Funnyplaying cared enough to fix one of these issues in the future, it would require a whole new board or some other developer tool to get that update. However, I will give credit where credit is due. They finally made a solid new shell design, and it made the installation process so much nicer. The shell is structurally sound. You can easily stick the screen down. The ribbon cables are much easier to manage, and there's no more stupid bracket. It still sucks that they have a proprietary shell design, but at least it's good now. And you might be able to gut an OEM shell enough to make it work with this screen, but I'm not going to be the one to test that. This kit is not worth the hassle or the money. Also, I wish there was some included double-sided tape for the driver board, like they do with the GBC kits, but I'd rather them fix about 10 other problems over adding a tiny strip of double-sided tape. Straight up, just don't buy this kit. Their SP batteries are great, and their GBC IPS kits are good, but so many of Funnyplaying's latest innovations are less than mediocre at best. I'm just tired of spending money on Funnyplaying crap where I have to go into it hoping for the best just for it to barely function. Honestly, they've put out so much crap lately that I don't know if I'm going to review any more of their products. It ruins the review process for me. It just ruins making videos for me. It makes me want to take a break because it's just depressing. But the other side of me is like, well, I gotta let the people know because there's still people out there that think that Funnyplaying equals good every time. But it's really just in the name. Their stuff plays funny. Anyways, what do you guys think of this new kit? Do you think I was too harsh on Funnyplaying? Let me know in those comments down below. Oddly enough, there isn't an SP version of this kit yet. Hopefully it doesn't have any of these issues when it does come out, but we all know they don't care about their customers enough to make a quality product. But that's about it for me. So like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in a more positive video. Later, guys. I just wish I could adjust my screen brightness with L and R.